And we're live. So, welcome everybody to yet another live interview show for Become a Fearless Father. And today I got Neal Henson here from the UK. So, let's get the show straight away on the road with my question. I like his bio. I checked it out and it said, "No boss lifestyle." And I was like, yes, that's what I like. So, tell me, man, how does that look like? How does one achieve a no boss lifestyle? And I am looking specifically at, like, there's so many of us that say like, oh yeah, that sounds really great. And at the same time, you know how that goes. There's that little voice saying, you can do this, right? So a lot of fear comes in as well. So share us a little bit your view on that, man.
Okay, well, yeah. So everyone, I'm Neal Henson, live in the UK. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've all got this negative doubt, the feel of self-doubt, the feel that we're just not good enough. We can't achieve what everyone else is out there doing. And the only thing for me is you can't compare yourself to other people, no matter where you are. You've just got to set yourself a target, and no matter if someone else achieves the goal before you, no matter if somebody else is able to get a better result than you, you can't beat yourself up about it. You've just got to learn and just think, okay, so why did they achieve that? What could I do to be better? And we're always striving to be better. That's the key. We're not trying to be better than someone else. We're only trying to be better than the person we were yesterday. So the only comparison you should ever be making is where you were to where you are now. That's the only comparison you should really be making. And as long as you can honestly look back and think, I'm in a better place and I'm moving towards the goal I'm aiming to achieve, then that's all that really matters. So first one is, do not compare yourself to anybody else, because that is one thing that's going to hold you back straight away. And then most importantly, ultimately just know where you want to be. That's the key. Know where you want to be, have a projection. So this is where I want to be in 90 days, 180 days, 365 days, whatever that is. And then just keep making strive towards it every single day. But every single decision you make towards basically anything, any decision you make needs to be in view of that. So is the step you're going to make now going to be a step towards that, or is it going to be a side step, or is it going to be a backward step? You need to be making sure that these are always forward steps. Side steps are fine, but as long as it's side step to move forward. That's all that matters. So you need to make sure that whatever it is your end goal is, everything needs to be in view of that. So whatever you're doing, is it going to hinder that? Is it going to get in the way of that? Are you going to have to take time out from what you're focusing on right now in order to get there? And if that's the case, it needs to be put to one side until you've achieved that. Once you've achieved that, then that's when you can pick up this.
Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, that's a big one, man. Don't compare yourself to others, right? Because we have so much intensity, especially with Facebook and everybody showing those amazing pictures of everybody, that we're all like, oh man, that looks so amazing. But at the same time, we have no idea what their life really looks like, right? It's just that moment. Plus, yeah, it's so powerful. It's so much easier if you focus on yourself. Like this was I was yesterday. What can I do? And just wake up with that question, right? What can I do today to make sure that I improve myself from whom I was yesterday, in whichever area it is? Because what you mentioned, this doesn't just only benefit you in your business; it benefits you in your personal life as well, right? Your personal development. So that
exactly. You should always strive to be the best person you can possibly be. I know when it comes to business, one thing that we always look for, we're always looking out for people to show us the way. And whilst it is good to have someone to show you the way, if you don't have someone to show you the way, that can't be a reason for you to say, I can't do this. I've got to find someone to show me the way. At the end of the day, I had a very good person I worked with. She was a leader in a company I used to work for. Her name was Tracy Walker. I don't know if many people actually know or have heard of her, but she was like $1 million earner. And the one philosophy that she always lived by is, be the leader, be the person, be the change you want to see in the world. Don't wait for someone to show you the way. If nobody's showing you the way, you show everyone else the way. What is it that you would expect from someone else to show you that you could show to someone else? So, if you're struggling to generate leads, then don't look for someone to help you generate leads. I mean, yes, that would be nice, but there are plenty of ways. I mean, if you go onto YouTube, even Facebook, there's countless amounts of ways to generate leads. So what could you do now that you could teach someone else? So once you've done that, you've then got people who now follow you. And then you can just take that and then you just keep applying it in different ways. And then you've now building a following of people that want to follow you. And you're literally doing the thing that you set out to do in the first place. So instead of finding someone to show you how to generate these leads or whatever it is that you want to do, just find ways of just think of ways. You don't need to recreate the wheel. I believe that's one of the holdbacks that we have. We think, well, if someone else has already done it, then why do I need to do it? And the fact is, someone could share a message and you can share a message and you will resonate with different people, because people resonate with the kind of person you are, the message you're sharing, your personality. Likewise, there are people that don't resonate with you because of your personality. Now, you can't be bothered. Don't listen to the people who don't resonate with you. And I believe that is another big holdback of people. They worry about what people think, what people are going to say. And the fact is, you have to accept that not 100% of the people are going to follow you or resonate with your message. And that's cool. At the end of the day, you only want to work, you want people that are going to resonate with your message, be a part of you, compliment you, and ultimately uplift you. That's what we're looking for. Don't worry about what people think, what people say. At the end of the day, if they're not a fit for you, if they're not a person that resonates with your message, well, then they can go and find somebody else. So don't think you need a leader in order to take action. Whatever it is, you need to come back to the same thing. What is your outcome? What do you want? Have a clear goal. Have clear steps to move to the way. Don't think you can get there in one go. You're not going to jump from the bottom of the steps to the top of the steps in one go. You have to take each step as it comes. So you take one step, and what is it that's going to get you to that next step? And then the next step, and then the next step. All we're looking for is to get a result. So if you can get a result showing people, again, come back to the whole lead generation thing. If you said to someone, right, I'm going to show you how to generate 10 leads using Messenger or using a chatbot, using we live in an automation society now. So if you can teach someone how to generate 10 leads just doing something as simple as that, there are countless amounts of people that will be like, yes, I want to know that because I don't know how to do that. And then suddenly you'll have a mass following. So then you've got yourself a result. Now, once you've got that result, what could you then do next to get them to follow you along? And ultimately, you're getting that one step. And before you know it, you're suddenly so much more further along. Whereas if you tried to just get straight there at the end straight away, you'll find that you're just not going to be able to stretch that far. And I believe that's where we just want to get there so quick. We live in a now society where everything is available to us now. We just want to get there, and we're not prepared to take the necessary steps that it takes to get there.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Neal, let's talk a little bit about you as well, man. Give us a little bit of your background story, your family setup, so we get a bigger picture of who is this guy that's sharing already straight from the bat, not even 10 minutes in, all these golden nuggets with us.
Okay, well, I've been online about 5 years now, and when I first got started, I actually got started in network marketing, and for quite a while, I didn't really understand what network marketing was. I just knew that it was something that it spoke to me, because I love the thought of helping other people, showing them how to achieve whatever it is that they're looking to do. It's not necessarily this is the result I think you should have. It's what coming back to the whole what does success mean to you? And you could ask that question to like a million different people, and every single person is going to give you a different answer. So when we go out there and when we say, let me help you do this, I can't tell you the amount of people where I saw people, they was almost like trying to say, I think you should do this, and it was like that they'd say no, or they'd have questions, and the amount of times I saw people just like literally just hammering it, and I even experienced it myself. And for a long time, it was one of those things where I just literally held back, and I'm just like, you know what, I can't live like this. This is not how it should be. You can't, just because someone's saying no to you, just because someone's got things that they need to, they've got questions they need answering, that doesn't mean to say that it's a no. It just means it's not necessarily right for them right now, or even at all. And I experienced that on both sides. I saw people doing it, and I saw people doing it to me. And it was one of them where it kind of put me off a little bit, because I was kind of like, took a back step, and I'm just like, right, if this is what this is all about, I do not want to be a part of this, because this is not how things should be. At the end of the day, things should always be a choice, and it should be something that they want to do, not feel that they have to do. And again, we have countless amount of people where they will literally just jump straight in, and then they'll try and like hammer and hammer and hammer. And the one takeaway I always had was, if you can build a relationship with people, they always say your network is your net worth. You can't build up any kind of business if you're literally trying to guilt trip people into selling things. If you're literally just trying to provide no value and just expect the end result, and that's where I took a back step, and then I decided, like, I'm going to learn this. So I'm one of these kind of people. I'm not really the kind of person who shouts things from the rooftops, and maybe I should be a bit more like that, because let's face it, at the end of the day, that's the only way you get noticed. I like to sit in the background, and I like to figure things out. And then once I know exactly where I am, then that's when I start making plans, and that's when I start go, right, I'm going to do this. But I'm more of an under the radar kind of person. You don't necessarily see me. I'm not the kind of person who like shouts from the rooftop, or who's, to be honest, I haven't even been that active on Facebook recently, because I've been trying to sort things out in my personal life. I've been trying to sort things out in just trying to sort everything out in my head. And once I know exactly, once I've got a plan, then that's when I'm like, right, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm ready to go. And I always find that once you've got some clarity, then that's the key. You can't move forward until you've got it clear up here, because you're always going to get in your own way, and it always comes down to your mindset. You need to wake up. You need to have a fresh approach. And I've been listening to this one YouTube video, and I like to listen to it quite a lot, because he says, if you can master the first hour of your day, you can master your day. So it's all about waking up with the right mindset, taking the right actions, and getting through that first hour in the best possible way, because the way you do that first hour is going to be the way you do the rest of your day. So make sure when you're planning, when you're taking action, you've got everything ready and you're in the right frame of mind. So master your first hour, get yourself clear, get your intentions sorted, know exactly what you want to do, and you're ready to go. But if you don't master what you've got up here, ain't gonna matter, because it will literally count for nothing.
And what's your, because you mentioned private life, what's your private life setup look like in regards to kids and marriage, no marriage, etc.?
Currently live with my girlfriend. Unfortunately, don't have any kids as of right now. But hopefully, in some time, we're hoping that we can have some, that we'll have some kids. But yeah, just enjoying life at the moment. Like I said, living with my girlfriend, so got a few holidays planned up, and we like to always do things. So we've had a few little trips throughout the year, and been to see places throughout the UK. Haven't got any plans to go abroad yet, but yeah, I prefer little and frequent vacations rather than one big vacation, because I find that it just breaks up the year, and it always gives you something else to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely hear what you're saying there. So tell me, man, you said something very important, and I like that you mentioned that. Like, okay, so I listened to this YouTube motivational video, and it's mentioning like, okay, the way I have my day, or the way my day goes, really depends on how I have my first hour, right? How I have that set up, or how do I make it sure that that's in my control to set up the rest of my day. So how does your complete day from the moment you get up look like?
Well, I'm to be honest, I'm always a planner. So before I go to bed, I have a clear. In fact, even when it's one of them where it's always on my mind. So even when I'm going to sleep, I've got a plan of what I want to do the next day. So it's like get up, and I've got like I don't know, first 2 hours of the day is literally just getting everything ready. So I know exactly what I want to do, my plan of action. And then it's just slowly implementing it throughout the day, where it's talking to people, arranging things, organising. I've got a I've got an event that I'm trying to organise at the moment. So we're just trying to organise that. So it's for me, it's being clear on your intentions and planning it all out. Because if you don't have a plan, you always say if you don't have a plan, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So first part of my day is literally end of the day. I'm making sure that I've got everything down for what I want to do the next day, and then the first couple of hours is right. How am I going to get this done? And sometimes that can take me an hour. Sometimes that can take me two. But as long as I can get everything done that I want to get done, then I don't. It doesn't matter to me how long it takes, as long as it is done. But for me, it's always about planning.
Exactly. And is there any within your morning system, routine, whatever you want to call it, right? Those first 2 hours, is it just focused on planning, or is there anything in regards to what you hear a lot as well in those motivational videos, meditation, exercising, reading, all that stuff, or is it just purely focused on getting yourself ready for the rest of the day?
No, I do like to listen to mindset. So Anthony Robbins is a big influence of mine. I absolutely love that guy. But I do like to listen to motivational. So there are quite a few film stars who I like to look into, like Will Smith, Robert Downey Jr., and things like that. I like to understand their backstory, because they come from like such humble backgrounds, and to go out there and to achieve the things that they've achieved. I like to understand. Okay, so how is it that you've got from where you are to where you want to be? And again, no different from Anthony Robbins, is what is the common link between them? And obviously, they have a solid work ethic that cannot be taken away from anyone who has achieved the things that they've achieved. But, the crazy thing about it is, if you actually followed Robert Downey Jr. to understand the problems he encountered throughout his life, you wouldn't think that he actually encountered. And I think this is, we all think that when you're up there, that you've possibly not encountered the problems that everyone else is experiencing, or that you won't be encountering any kind of problems. And they don't realize that these people are encountering exactly the same problems as what people are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. It's just that their focus is, I'm not going to let this affect me, and I've just got to find a way to get past it. And I feel that the biggest holdback again is ourselves, comparing ourselves to others, letting I don't want to say the small things, because I don't want that to sound very, very rude, because again, like I say, what can seem small to some people can be a big thing for other people. So I don't want that to sound, but what I'm trying to say is, whatever problems, whatever things is currently holding you back, you can't use that as a basis to say this can't be done because of this. There's always going to be an example for every single person out there that says I can't do it because of this. I guarantee you now that there'll be 100 people out there that have done it because of that. And they, instead of trying to use it as a holdback, use it as an inspiration. And that's what I look for. I look for these stories. Like I say, I like to listen to Will Smith. I like to listen to Robert Downey Jr., Anthony Robbins, Elon Musk. And just to listen to different perspectives, and you just when you see what people have had to go through to get there, it kind of gives you a whole perspective of thinking, you know what, if I compared myself to that, I'm just thinking, to me, just like, you know what, my problems are small by comparison. So then it's suddenly that's the one time where I feel it's a good way to compare yourself, and just go, you know what, it suddenly gives you that whole set of belief, and just thinking, you know what, if they've been through this to get to there, I can get through. There's no way I can't get there in spite of what I'm going through. They've had to overcome so much more than me, and yet they're there. So it gives you that belief to say, you know what, I can do this. And this is the key to anything is belief. If you've already set yourself a bar then that's all you're ever going to do. That's all you're ever going to possibly achieve. You set the bar. It's a question of how high you want to set it. Don't let anybody ever tell you you cannot achieve something. Don't let anybody ever tell you you cannot do something. Then you can do whatever you set yourself to do. So at the end of the day, what do you want to do? And don't let anybody else put you off. Just focus at it 100%, and everything that you do has to be in focus of that. So for me, it's all about mindset and listening to those people overcome and what they've had to go through. And it's not, don't get me wrong, there are some stories out there that are really, really not nice to listen to. But when you flip it on the other side and just think, you know what, from the belief perspective of they've been able to do this in spite of this, there's no, I can't do this. You've just got to have that belief, and that's what it all comes down to. So once you get your mind right, once you've got that belief to say I can do this in spite of everything else, then there is absolutely nothing that can stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. In regards to that, right? You mentioned like they've been facing lots of challenges, and then especially that's amazing to see where they're at right now. What's your philosophy when it comes down to challenges?
Well, the one challenge I face is I actually lost my memory quite a few years ago, and the one problem I find that I come up against is continually, and this is why I focus on everything so much, is because the only way I remember stuff is if it's repetitive. So when it's repetitively in my head, that's the only way I'm going to remember things. And sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, the philosophy, my philosophy, is. Sorry, do you know what? I've completely lost my train of thought, and this goes back to my point. Can you just ask the question again?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's your philosophy? What's your way of thinking about what does it mean to have challenges?
Everybody has challenges, and like I've just mentioned, I struggle with memory, and what my focus is how can I overcome the one problem that I face. I struggle to remember quite a lot of things, and I do find that it gets in my way because obviously things can grab my attention, and sometimes I can find myself getting overwhelmed very quickly because there's too much going off upstairs. And what I've come to realize is that I need to focus on one thing until it's done, and then when it's done, it's out my head, and then it's again not building there. So for me, you need to figure out what kind of person you are, and you need to be clear, and you need to ask yourself some very, very honest questions of just say, what kind of person am I, and what kind of person do I want to be? What kind of results am I looking to get? And try and find a way to think, okay, so like me, as I mentioned, I haven't got a very, very good memory. I do forget things quite easily, and I can find myself getting overwhelmed. So what I do is I write everything down, whether it's in, to be honest, if you saw my phone, you'd see the amount of things that I've wrote down. I always write everything down because that way it's out my head. So I don't allow myself to get for too much to build up here, because otherwise I just find I can't do anything. I can't focus on anything. And I find that if I write it down and I keep reviewing it, then that helps me see things through. Not always, because you might have too much. I mean, we've all got a million and one different things to do. So sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but you just need, in my case, I just prioritize which one of these need doing first. But if you've got a problem with, being on camera, for example, unfortunately, the only thing for me with that is you just need to do it until you get comfortable doing it. I know that is one of the biggest holdbacks I certainly face, but if you talk to anyone, nobody likes being on camera. So if you've got one of these problems where it's like, I want to do this, but I don't want to be on camera, I don't want to I don't want to be on Facebook 24 hours a day. I don't want to be on YouTube. Is what you want to achieve actually a part of that? Is that, sorry, wrong way around. Is that a part of what you're aiming to do? And if the answer is yes, you've just got to find a way through it. There are no certain things. There is no way around it. You know, if I come back to my whole memory thing, you know, just because I've got a memory problem, it doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to be able to achieve what I want to achieve. It just means that I have to go about it in a completely different way, and that will be no different from you. You know, but there are certain things in life that you're just going to have to do, and you don't have a choice. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to do things you're going to do things for someone else that you don't want to do, or you can do things you don't want to do for yourself and get where you want to go. So it's a question of where you want to be. So you need to have some very honest questions with yourself. You need to say, right, okay, so what kind of person am I? What is my biggest holdbacks? Be honest with yourself. Like me, you know, like I say, the whole thing about memory. I know I need to be a lot. I know I need to be a lot more. I need to do it a lot more on camera now. Now I've got I've got everything clear. For me, it's all about taking action now. But I know going on camera is not. It used to be a massive hold up, and I still have days where it's like, you know, I don't want to do that, but it's just one of those things where you have to do it. So if what you're hoping to achieve is a part of what you're trying, or what's holding you back, then, you know, you've just got to find a way through it, because there's no way around it. There are certain things in life where it's just like, you know what, doesn't matter. You just got to fight. You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable until it gets comfortable.
Yeah, I like that one to finish with. So that's it, man. I'm wondering, because within the challenges, right? One of the challenge from what you mentioned earlier as well is, you know, you're trying to every single day become better than the person you were the day before, right? Yeah. What's your approach? How are you trying every single day to become better than who you were yesterday?
For me, again, just come back to what is it that you're hoping to achieve, and the more people I can connect with, the more people I can hopefully give belief to, and just I don't want to say inspiration, because I don't feel like that's the right word, but sorry, excuse me. The one problem that most people face is themselves, and you've just got to have belief. So no matter what, just go out there, go about your daily lives, share videos, share stories, share everything about you, and just use that to inspire someone to say, you know what, I've had to overcome this, but I've managed to achieve this. And just always be open, and always be approachable as well. So when people come to approach you and just say, hey, you know, like this, you know, you very gracefully said, oh yeah, I'll jump on with you. I just literally connected to you. I saw one of your links, followed it through, and here we are on a call. But you know, you could have quite easily said, you know what, I don't have time, or you know what, I don't want to talk to you. And obviously you're not that kind of person, but no matter what, always give somebody the time of day. If you can. Obviously there's only a certain amount of minutes in the day, but you won't believe just giving somebody 5-10 minutes of your day what that can do for them. Always try to be, it comes back to the same thing, always try to be the better person. But what is it you can do? How is it you can help other people? What can you put out there in the world, content wise, even communication, connection, talking to people? What is it you can put out there that's going to give people either a focus, a path, or even just belief to say, this is what I need to do. I know what I need to do now. And again, belief is absolutely number one thing. If you don't have belief, you don't have nothing. You need to wake up, master the first hour of your day, get yourself into the right frame of mind, and that's what I focus on every single day. first hour of the day is getting myself into the right frame of mind. And then whatever it takes, whether you read, whether you listen to audio, whether you watch videos, it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes to get yourself into the right frame of mind. Once you've got yourself into the right frame of mind, I honestly believe that you'll be unstoppable and you can do whatever it takes. But if you've got somebody out there who reaches out to you and says, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Now, we've all got a million and one different things to do. So, but as long as it, you know, if someone's only asking for 5 minutes of your time, just give them that 5 minutes of your time, because that could probably save them an entire day of trying to, you know, figure it out if they didn't give you 5 minutes of your time. So I always believe that if somebody reaches out to you and needs your help, then yes, give them the time of day as much as you can. But ultimately, don't let that take away from what you have. The one thing you do have to be selfish with is your time, and say, I need to get this done. So as long as you're able to give time to someone, then I would always encourage you to do that, because that can mean the difference between, you know, them having a great day and them just having a miserable day. So I'd always encourage people, give and give as much as you can, but the ultimate aim is, do not let it take anything away from your day. So as long as you can, you always should, but don't give it at the expense of yourself, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's oh, now it's my turn. That's great advice, Neal. Thank you for that. So let me ask you that, because of course, you know, we all the guys, the fathers that are listening right now, and they're like, yeah, man, I'm working every day very hard on improving to whom I was yesterday. And sometimes you have one of those days, right? You're just failing. You pop back, your kid does something, you yell at him, or just a business client happens and it just, or a live interview that goes absolutely like this, software is not working or whatever, you ask them absolutely the wrong question, the whole interview goes to shit. You know, you failed, right? Failure, that's okay. So my question to you is, what does failure mean to you, and how do you cope with it?
Well, failure to me, failure is a permanent thing. So failure is not failure until you actually give up. So it may be temporary failure, but it's a question of, okay, that didn't work, and just see it as it's just something else to tick off your list to say, okay, that didn't work. Okay, and again, ask yourself brutally honest questions. Why didn't it work? And what could I do to make it work next time? And again, come back to the brutally honest questions. You just got to be honest with yourself and just say, does that work, or did I just not make it work? So again, if you're asking someone and you ask someone completely the wrong questions, then the first thing I'd ask you is, okay, was you prepared for it? Was you in the right mindset? Because if you was nervous, if your mind was elsewhere, we can tell these things. And you know, how many times have you had a conversation with someone where you can just tell straight away that their mind is not with you? And if you're doing that whilst you're on an interview with someone, they're going to sense that, and they're just like, well, why am I here if you're not? So ask yourself the question and just say, okay, are you doing it wrong, or is it just not working? If it's just not working, then you need to come up with a fresh new approach. If it's because you wasn't in the right mindset, if you was feeling nervous, what can you do to put yourself in that mentality where we've all had those, you know, where you just feel absolutely incredible and nothing will ever knock you off your perch? What can you do to get yourself into that frame of mind where you feel truly unstoppable, where you feel absolutely incredible? And then would that help you in the next meeting? Would that help you if you followed up with them again? If you were to redo it all over again, would that make you better? Would that change the outcome? And if you just had one of them days where, you know, you just don't feel great, you know, I have times where I feel so frustrated because I know what I want to do, but again, coming back to the whole memory thing, it's just trying to remember and get it out. So I have it up here, but trying to get it down is something else, and that's where my frustration is. But sometimes I just find, you know what, I just need to take 10 minutes and completely clear my thoughts. And I find that, you know, I listen to music, go for a walk, something like that, just something, because they always say motion creates emotion. So just go for a walk around the block, something where you just completely clear your head and have a fresh perspective, and then come back at it, and then just go, you know what? And then sometimes that can just be like, right, you can just see it clear as day because you've had a new perspective. You managed to get out your own way, clear them frustrations, whatever they were, and then you've now managed to, you know, all the barriers are gone, and suddenly you go, okay, I can see it now. But I've done it before where I've tried to focus and drive myself absolutely insane because I know I can do it. And that's part of my frustration. I know I can do it. I just can't, I can't get it to work. Instead of trying to force it, I found that if I just take 5 to 10 minutes, completely clear my head, I sometimes like to listen to music. So, you know, one of my favorite bands is Guns N' Roses. So sometimes I like to listen to, you know, one of my favorite songs off them. So listen to that. It completely changes my mind. I completely forget what I do. And then when I come back to it 5 to 10 minutes later, I have a fresh perspective because I've suddenly got out my own way because that frustration is not there. That emotion is not there. So just completely clear your head, remove all barriers, and then just to get a fresh perspective, that 10 minutes could make the entire difference.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that advice. I love that what you said. Failure is only failure when you give up. I mean, that sums it all up, right? That makes it really simple for people to follow. It's like, okay, I only failed when I give up. If I keep making mistakes or if it keeps not working, however, I keep going, I can't fail, right? I'm always successful. So that's a great way of looking at it for people to just, you know, okay, I can't fail because I keep going. Great, man. I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
No worries. If you look at, and again, come back to the whole mindset thing, always looking for different people for inspiration. But if you look at some of the biggest marketers online today, in fact, Anthony Robbins is probably the biggest, as they get called, self-help guru. If you look at his story, he's failed a countless amount of times, but it's because he's failed. And Elon Musk as well. You know, everybody knows who Elon Musk is, but it's because he is only so successful because of the amount of failures he's had. And it's a confliction, but it's so true because you're not going to know what works if you don't know what doesn't work. And I always look at again another top marketer, Russell Brunson. You know, I've been watching one of his videos, and he always talks about, like, you know, people keep asking him, how are you able to build these incredible offers, and how are you able to do this, and how are you able to do it? He goes, I've been doing it for 10 to 15 years. I've done it that many times. I know what works, but I only know what works because I know what don't work. And again, so I know what don't work. I've had failures in the past, and that's what they're trying to tell you. I've had failures in the past. I just haven't let it define me, and I haven't given up because of that. I've just gone, okay, that doesn't work. So again, that doesn't work. Is it because that doesn't work, or didn't you make it work? Which one is it? So it didn't work. Okay, what's my new approach? Tried a different approach. Okay, that worked. Maybe not as good as I was expecting. So what could I do to tweak that and then make it better? And that's all you're doing. But you have to get that feedback. That's all people see failure as. People see failure as it didn't work. That's not failure. That just means that it's not right now. So what can you do to tweak it, to change it, to then try again and say, okay, is that better than the last time? Okay, what part of that could I tweak to make it even better and even better and even better? And that's all we're trying to do, just little tweaks. But you need that feedback to say, does it work? Does it not work? And if it means it doesn't work, okay, change it, try again, change it, try again. That is all, everything when it comes to success is.
Loving it. Yeah, great explanation on that. Podcasting. Let's go into that a little bit. You mentioned a little bit before you're starting out with it. What's your view on it? I mean, there's so many choices for people to say, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go on YouTube, or I'm going to focus on Facebook, or I'm going to focus on podcasting, or I'm going to focus on blog writing, whatever it is, right? What's your view on the whole podcasting that we see blowing up right now with tons and tons of people?
Oh, I love podcasting. In fact, it's something that I am definitely going to get into. But come back to what I said earlier. You need to be clear on what it is you want to do. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to get in front of a video, podcasting will definitely work for you, because podcasting once you get moving, then you can generate an incredible amount of leads generated from podcasting. And but the only thing, and I've been guilty of this before, is when something comes along, don't let it replace everything else you've already been doing. It needs to fit on top of it. So if you look at all the, all the top marketers out there, they're doing video, they're doing podcasting, they're doing blogging, and it's because they found a way that, so they've got one thing moving, and then they've built something on top of it, and then they've got them two moving, and then they put something else on top of it, and then they've got them three moving, and that's how you do it. You can't build something and then see something else coming along like podcasting and thinking, okay, that's great. People are getting amazing results with that. I'm going to do podcasting, and then drop everything else and do that. I've been guilty of that, and to a degree, I still do that now. We're all human. We all make mistakes, but you've just got to try your level best to just keep moving to get some momentum going in what you're doing, and then try to build things on top of it, because that's the only way you start building out your success. You've got to understand, there are people that are readers. There are people that are video people like myself, and I do like podcasting because, again, it's listening. I'd rather listen to something than read. I do like reading, but given the choice, I'd always prefer to listen, because I find it's easier. You can do it whilst you're traveling. So I could be walking somewhere, I could be listening to something, I could be on a bus. You can do either, but I usually find that listening it is a lot better for me. But I can do it whilst I'm walking, I can do it whilst I'm going out, I can do it in my passive time. So when I'm in the shower, when I'm getting changed. You can't read when you do that, but you can listen to stuff. So I find that for me, audio and video definitely work for me. But podcasting is absolutely incredible when you get it moving. But if you've got 1,000,001 different things to do, then you're going to struggle to get everything done, and you can't try to. It's like trying to push start a car. At the end of the day, try and push start a car. It's going to take all your effort to get that thing moving, but when you get enough momentum, it drives itself, and it almost feels like you could just literally push it with one finger, because it's the momentum's built that much. And that's no different from getting started online. But if I wanted to try and push 2 cars, that's obviously not physically possible, but that's what people try and do. They try 1,000,001 different things, and then they wonder why they can't get moving. You've got to get one thing moving, and then let it start building a life of its own. And once you've got to the point where you can maintain that and it only takes 15-20 minutes a day, you can then find time to put something else on top of it, get that thing moving, and then get that into momentum, and then add things and add things and add things. And it'll be like a snowball effect. You'll be starting really, really, really small, but eventually that will come on a life of its own, and it'll be almost like you can just let go and it'll just roll. Just still continue to build that momentum and grow. But you've just got to focus on one thing. What is it that you want to do? What kind of person are you? Are you a writer? Are you a video person? Are you an audio person? Focus on that, get some momentum, do whatever it takes to get that moving and start seeing good results with it. And then you can start bringing something else in, but not until.
Yeah, absolutely. What else did I want to ask you? I had a couple of other things. Here we go. Impact versus income. What's your view on that?
I believe the two go hand in hand. At the end of the day, the amount of money you wish to generate will be completely reflecting on the amount of value you're providing. So the amount of impact that you can have on other people's lives. So again, look back at Tony Robbins, the amount of impact that you see people having. Unfortunately, I read a recent story, I believe it was published by BuzzFeed, trying to publish a story saying that he was sexually harassing people, and it was not very nice to read at all. But no different from me, there was countless amounts of people underneath it. There was literally just like, you know what? I've been to this guy's seminars. I've been here. I've done this. I've read about this guy for years. I do not believe this for 1 second. And there was I couldn't even find one single, not that I was looking, but I read through a few of the comments, and there was not one single person that honestly agreed with it. They all slated it. They all said it was wrong. And it just kind of built a testament to the character that he has built and the amount of impact that he has had. So you go to his events, you listen to his videos, you do anything, and it's kind of, no matter what happens, at least for me, nobody will believe those kind of stories because the amount of impact that he's had. And obviously, I never wish that kind of slanderous comments to be made against anybody, but to me, the amount of impact that he has had is kind of a true testament, because one of the worst things that could be said about you and not one person believes it, that to me is a true testament to the amount of impact that he's had. And it's done, like, again, podcasting and videos, and he's built such a following online. That's why he is where he is, because of the amount of value he's provided, the amount of impact that he's had, and the amount of lives that he's changed. And the only way for me you can truly value the impact you've had is by the amount of lives you've changed. So don't be focused on the money, because they always say I don't believe it's an exact quote, but where the impact goes, the money flows. And I believe it should be some kind of variation on that. So if you want to set yourself an income goal of saying, I want to earn $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever you want to do, the first thing you need to be thinking about is the impact you want to have, because that is where the two will go hand in hand. If you can if you can make an impact, then the next one will truly follow. So focus on what impact you can have on people, what positive impact you can have on people. So we can always have both, and hopefully you're focusing towards the positive. But the more positive impact you can have on someone, the more money you will ultimately make. So focus on value, focus on helping people, focus on impacting their lives for the better, and how you can help them overcome their barriers, and everything else will just fall into place.
Great, man. Thanks for sharing it. And absolutely, we love Tony Robbins. Fuck BuzzFeed. That's very clear. I read it a little bit as well. I saw the videos of Tony Robbins. It's ridiculous that he's got to defend himself against.
Yeah, it's not.
Anyway, we reached to our end. I really appreciate Neal for coming on the show. Share with us, how can people follow you, get in contact with you? Maybe they got some more questions in regards to what you've been sharing with us. What's the best way of reaching out?
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, I've not really been too active on Facebook, but as of today, I will be picking that back up. So I will be back on Facebook. I will be back on Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram at neal.henson1. And also, if you follow me, just search Neal Henson and you'll see one of my pages pop up. And obviously, you can connect with me on there. So I'll be picking that up. Also, you can reach out to me on my personal profile. Whichever way, just send me a message and I'll respond to you as soon as I can.
Perfect. Sounds good. Again, Neal, so thank you so much for being on. Everybody else, thanks for watching this, either live or the replay. Don't forget to put your hearts down. Subscribe. It's always nice, of course, and make sure that if you got any value out of it, to share it with all your friends, because sharing is caring, people. All right. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Are you still meeting up with your friends now that you're a father? Kids making you stress out. You got no time for yourself to work out, read, or relax. Can you still remember the time you were hanging out with your friends, feeling energetic, happy, and confident? Spending time together and talking about your life and your crazy dreams. You're feeling alone now, don't you? No one to share your challenges with, and you're just running around from one storm into the next. Well, it's time to change this now. Join me and the Brotherhood of Fearless Fathers to speak on a weekly basis with like-minded dads to crush your challenges, face your fears with determination, be held accountable, and regain control of your life. If you want to become the hero your family needs you to be, then go to becomeafearlessfather.com/brotherhood. I'm looking forward to seeing you on one of our next calls.